FCT to present his budget proposals for the consideration of the members. Thank you.
Litigation against FCT is something else. I don't even know any state that has the number of litigations than FCT. I've never seen. We have over 500 cases. Every day, judgment is being churned out against FCT. In most of these judgments, nobody defends FCT. You hear that, oh, we are served and will not appear. Judgment, now we have decided that, look, we have to firm out most of our cases to external solicitor. We will be sure of what we are doing. I don't want to accuse anybody, but I can tell you that that is what is going on. Most of us will travel overseas and go to the museum, cultural, and oh, look at how this is, look at what this is. I think that is a priority for this country. It is a priority. And it's a revenue source for the country. It's a revenue source for the country. I do not, with all due respect, I do not agree that this is not a priority. If we can spend, if we will go and spend 40 billion naira starting a project, then midway, we'll come back to abandon that it's not a priority. That is not correct. It's not only rich people that will go and visit those areas. It's not correct. You take school children to go and see the area. Some of them will tell their parents, we want to go there and see this and look at this. And anything that will create money for government cannot be something that is not a priority. Two, you talk about buses. I want to also inform. You see, government has a responsibility. If you want us first to say concession, people ask, yes, you can do concession, or you can allow PPP, have an arrangement of PPP. But before that, what have you done? The mere fact that there was an administration that you failed yesterday does not mean that this one we are in charge will fail. I have that capacity that it will work. If another person comes, it doesn't work, it's the person's business. When I was there, it worked. What you're talking about, Abuja investment, do you know the amount of litigation we have on all those concessions and the rest of it? Fine. It is not an easy thing. It's not. We are going to arrangement with PPP, but before that arrangement is put in place, government must also do something. At least to reduce the level of suffering. If we bring those buses and they apply to Gwagwalada, who are the people living in Gwagwalada, It's not the masses. I don't like being theoretical. I want to be practical. We are not doing this that it will be sustainable. We are going to enter a private agreement with people who will probably run it as a business. But at the interim level, you have to do something. We say we are going to remove Keke Napep in all those, what do you call it, Asokora and the rest of them. How do you remove them when there's no alternative? You must provide alternative first, then you now move them out. All we're providing cannot be enough, but we must do something before the private-public partnership succeeds. It's not an easy thing. How many people, before even the private people come, most of them look at the profit. Nobody will come and run it if it's not going to make a lot of money. There are people who have reason to write about CNG, this and that. We're going to enter into all those things. But for now, you are entering into a Christmas period. What will happen? So we had all these considerations. So I think that for now, all we're doing, we think that it's for the interest of the residents. And with all due respect, when people talk of the common people, if there are no roads here, how will the common people go to school? How do you drive to school? when there are no roads?
What schools, sir? Have you seen their schools?
No, we are coming. So that we don't just see. Madam, everything cannot be taken at the same time. Now we have also taken schools. In the national budget, it will provide 5 billion. What we have done now was to select about 20, 30 schools to renovate and put it in good. Because when I read Punch and saw the students, people were sitting on the floor. It was, how many months have I stayed in the office? 3 months. 3 months. 3 months. So everything cannot be done just this supplementary budget to achieve something by May 29. Watch our 2024 budget. Look at the funding in education. Look at the funding in health and security. Then you begin to know, oh, really, we are thinking about the people. What can we achieve now? Is what we are talking about. From now to so time, what we want to achieve. That's what we came for. One thing that may be shocking to you is if you look at the FCT Legal Secretariat, what was provided before was 704 million. Now we have 1 point, that is without seeking for 1 billion. This is because the kind of litigation against FCT is something else. I don't even know any state that has the number of litigations than FCT. I've never seen. We have over 500 cases. Every day, judgment is being churned out against FCT. In most of these judgments, nobody defends FCT. You hear that, oh, we are served and will not appear. Judgment, now we have decided that, look, we have to firm out most of our cases to external solicitor. We will be sure of what we are doing. I don't want to accuse anybody, but I can tell you that that is what is going on. And so, in bringing in senior external solicitors, you require some amount of money, and that's why we put it. Now, I just want to take 1 or 2 issues. Most of these projects here are projects that are targeted that we must finish. Latest, Mr. President will commission it by May 29. He's 1 year in office. And when we had our retreat, yes, this project I'm telling you here would be commissioned by May 29, 2024. I'm not making a promise. I'm saying what will happen. I'm not here to make promise that you approve. No. I'm saying that this will be done. And all those in the national budget, like the metro line, the metro line, will also be commissioned by May 29, 2024. Now, you ask yourself, how possible this will be? Very possible. You agree with me that when we came on board, virtually all the contractors abandoned the sites. Lack of payment, this and that. And I said, look, we will have a strategy on how we will implement and execute our projects. And what do we do? When we were in TSA, all these funds go to the central bank. Would you not have an opportunity to play along in the wider financial market? Now, as the money comes, it is spent daily. So what we did, having come out from the TSA, all our IGR goes to the bank until the end of the month. Nobody touches IGR, nobody touches it. Leave it there till the end of the month. Let us know. This month end, how much do we get? We are getting 10 billion naira, for example. Fine. That 10 billion naira, I have to attach it to projects. Project 1, you will be collecting 1 billion naira every month. Project 2, you'll be collecting 1 billion naira every month. Project 3, you'll be collecting such amount of money every month. Therefore, it has encouraged contractors to now work, having the confidence that, look, at the end of the month, they're not chasing anybody in the FCT to look for their money. The money is dropping through ISPO and the jobs. And they give you time that, look, if we get this money, we can assure you by so time we would have completed so project. So it's not a question of putting project, no funding, backed up. But in this case, what we are saying that for these projects to be executed and completed, which is a timeline given, and we have this money now, it has to be appropriated for us to spend. And if we don't spend it now, we will not be able to complete the projects at the time given. And that's why we have to come here to say, look, we have told the contractors who come for supplementary approval, and that there's money to fund this project. So any project you see within here, if you check, even in the national budget, we put in area councils. We're doing 30-kilometer roads now among the 6 area councils. It has never happened before. It has everywhere been concentrated within the FCT. So we say to the council chairman, can we have one very, very important road in each area council? And the council chairman submitted these names, these roads to us. And by the grace of God, by May 29, those projects will be commissioned by Mr. President. I also want to say, if you look at table 3, augmentation, by March this year, next year, all roads, Maitama, will say, Gariki, Asokoro, will have been resurfaced. By March next year, we have already started. But these new ones now that we want to embark upon, we have to appropriate for it, because it was not much in the appropriation of 2023. So we are taking quite a lot in making sure that these projects are completed. Look at completion of road B6 done by Julius Berger. This road is being done by Julius Berger. This road, Mr. President will commission it in May 29, 2024. The one of N20 is being done by Gilmore. It will be commissioned by May 2029. This one is being done by 2024, sorry. Sorry, I cannot do any project that allows for that. Now, the Southern Parkway from Christian Center to Ring Road is being carried out by Cetraco and will also be commissioned in May 2029. 2024, I don't know what's happening to 2029. I hope nobody's doing something funny against me. That's why, because it's May 29th. That's why. Then the next one is being done by CGC. If you are going to the villa, there is a flavor you see there. That project will also be commissioned in May 2024. Now, we are tying this amount to all these projects so that anybody can see clearly that you said. And then look at the VP's residence. This contract was awarded 2010 at the cost of 7 billion to Julius Berger, but it was abandoned because of lack of funding. It's a national asset. Therefore, we ought not to use our statutory budget to fund national projects. But again, we can't have projects littered all over, abandoned. It's okay. We use our statutory budget to complete the VP's residence, and Julius Berger has agreed that it will be commissioned in May 2024. That's done by Julius Berger. Now, construction of Cultural Center Millennium Tower. This project was awarded by the government of Olusegun Obasanjo, 2001-2002. A project that did to change the landscape of this city. Very important project. It was awarded at the cost of 61 billion. And about 40-something billion was paid. And then no money to fund the project was abandoned. So when I came on board, I went and visited the site, and it was pathetic that a nation of this nature cannot have a befitting cultural where you have everything about culture, museum, and the rest of it. I believe that as FCT ministers, if you have a time to go and visit that Millennium Tower, you will always encourage us to see that that project is completed. So what would you do? We called the contractor, the company. Can you finish this project? How many years? They said, look, if they see funding, this project will be completed in 2 years' time. Fine. They have done variation before we came. So the project, additional 70-something billion, because it was abandoned, inflation and the rest. So, it's okay, fine. What we'll do, we'll start with 9 billion naira to assure you that we are ready. Then by next year, when we're bringing our 2024 appropriation budget, we are going to put money where we are going to take in every month. This is the amount that we pay to the company through an ISPO. And we would have finished this project in 2 years' time because of the funding pattern. We will not have problems. And no project started will be abandoned, because without any money, we cannot put any project. That's our policy, that's our strategy. And we're trying to see that we complete most of the projects started years, 10 years, 15 years. But it is, government is a continuum. We cannot say because we didn't start it, therefore we should abandon it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chairman, let me apologize for coming late. It was because we were in the House Committee, FCT, to also make the same presentation. So we sincerely apologize for that. Mr. Chairman, this budgetary proposal was necessitated in order to accommodate additional inflows comprising receipts from Paris Club, PE tax liabilities, special intervention, support from the infrastructure fund, and of course, other inflows from internal generated revenue. Mr. Chairman, recollect that sometimes ago, as the President presented supplementary budget, which FCT under the national budget was given 100 billion. Mr. Chairman, if you look at that document, we did specify what that 100 billion will be used for. One of such is the metro line, security, and of course, provide infrastructure among the 6 area councils and other items. Today, Mr. Chairman, what we are doing is the statutory supplementary budget. These funds cannot be expended if not appropriated. These funds are tied to specific projects that will be accomplished by the grace of God before May 29, 2024. I just want to pick some items which people will begin to wonder. If you look at page 3, you will see publicity and advertisement, for example. under the 2023 appropriation, you saw 60 million there. And then in the supplementary, we're requesting for 2.8 billion. So people will ask, what kind of amount for 60 million to 2.8 billion? Mr. Chairman, you recollect that when we came on board, I did say that we are going to vigorously drive our IGR. Will no longer depend on the national budget. Even the 2023 national budget, what we were given was 17 billion. Even out of that 17 billion, we are going to receive up to 5 billion. And again, when you check the 2024 appropriation, what was given is 17 billion. So we have to work hard to see that our revenue will improve on it. And what I did was to make sure that all those who are not paid their grand rent and other levies are made to pay vigorously. And the advertisement alone, the publicity given to that, like I will say, you use money to make money. The publicity was very, very intensive. We took over 8 national newspapers. Each of those newspapers, you will see advertisement of not less than 20-25 pages. 20-25 pages. Again, you can see we have also started advertisement or issuance of CFO in mass housing. Those who are living in mass housing who want to have their CFO will start applying by making sure that advertisement is spread for the information of the public, and those who were given land by area councils, and the Supreme Court judgment says no area council is entitled to allocate land or issue a certificate because it is under the spare of the FCT. But we didn't want to say, okay, start afresh. We say, okay, all those who were victims of that, you can also apply and have a CFO from FCT in order to give you that security. We have also, the president has also approved providing some security measures or features in our CFO. So we are going forward to call the certification of CFOs that will have the name number of individuals who have property in Abuja. Take for example, maybe Mr. Chairman has a property in Asokoro. I'm just, I think at least I will be protected if I say Mr. Chairman. so Mr. Chairman and Mr. Chairman's new CFO will have national identity number. That, of course, will have a lot of huge publicity. And that is why we said we have to provide this amount. And like as I speak to you, that publicity has helped us to also create awareness and improve on our IGR.